welcome back to an Ilme and a park that is completely blank. You might well ask why this park is blank and where's the normal one. Simple answer is this. So this is the end of the series. So what I was planning to do is finish everything off, just wrap it all in a neat bow, get the park all finished and looking just how I want it, and then do a sort of tour round to finish off the series so you can see what has been achieved over everything. But that ended up not going as well as I wanted it to. The simple reason for that is the game can't cope anymore. It can't cope with the size of my part. As you can see, if I do this, wow, look at all that lovely lag-free game. This is on ultra settings, and if I go to load up my other park, which I might do just to prove a point, it is a lag fest. It cannot cope anymore. I think whether it's built into the game to be a specific size limit, it doesn't matter what graphical settings I go on, the time just doesn't work properly. I'll tell you what, I will load it up. This will take well over a minute now to do this. It might be a bit less because I've already loaded it up in the last 5 minutes just to finish off, to take those screenshots. But yeah, this takes a hell of a long time to load now, and oh my lord does it lag. It goes, instead of continuous motion, you get a bit of motion and stop, bit of motion and stop, a little bit more motion and stop. And regardless of what setting you're on, regardless of how much I tweak, and regardless of how many apps I have open outside, as you're about to see, that's what it does. You can see that is noticeably crap. And yeah, that's what it does now. It just is constantly like that. There is one little change that I didn't address in a screenshot, which I will try desperately to get to and mention now. Oh yeah, I didn't actually finish off the station or take a screenshot of that. So I will use this little bit of footage here to just show off what I did with the station, and the other thing, which was I added a ride there. I added a little Ferris wheel there because that's very Victorian, and I extended the shops out a bit more because every fucker is complaining that they're hungry and it's really annoying. So the station, the paths got altered a bit, but they're still in the same basic position. I put a train outside it just to sort of denote what it is a bit better, but it's very sort of quintessentially Victorian. The paths all go through quite nicely. They're all self-contained and they have floors beneath them, so you can't just see through onto the grass. The station itself in here I'm very proud of because I put a big floor bit down there. It took ages to do, to get right and get all in the correct angles and everything, just so it looks better. I retracted some of the terrain around there as well just to make it a bit better. And the roof, which I quite like. I think I've had problems with train station roofs before, as you know, and I think I've cracked it. That's the best. The best I've done with train stations is that. And yeah, that's basically as far as this video will be tolerable. So this is what the park looked like basically in the end. That water, the mouse there, looks really bent. I don't know why. It looks sort of curved. It's not how water works. It might just be me. Anyway, yeah, this is what it ended up looking like. You can basically see everything that there is to see from here. There's the Victorian district here. Trump's America's there. I didn't get anywhere near as much of that done as I wanted to. And the Futury Island up there is looking quite nice. And then Penzance is a bit bare, but otherwise functional. This I'm moderately pleased with, actually. This bit, you know, it could have been a lot worse the way it turned out. This is when the game was running out of steam, and it was just like, it was at that stage potluck whether it would run smoothly or not. Now, no chance. I've tried about 6 times today to get it to run smoothly, and it's just not doing it. But yeah, when I was building that, it was sort of potluck, and the second half it was running slow, and so I'm just like, right, I'm just going to copy paste these buildings. I'm not building anymore. Not going to try and build properly anymore. I had to do the paths, but other than that, I mean, it was a bit of a nightmare. But in the end, it's moderately Western, not maybe as Western as I'd like, but I couldn't change it. I can't go back in there and change anything because it's just too much of a hassle. And then I did quite a good job, I think, with the rides. There was only 2, and they're sort of concealed behind. But like the way they're concealed behind the houses with the paths and everything looks quite nice to me. The train station, I did get the monorail and the proper long, the railway, what the fuck? I got both the trains to just sort of match up on the station correctly. Well, not quite correctly, not quite straight, but I was gonna build a station around that, and then yeah, the lag happened. So the station didn't get built, which is a shame because it took a long time to get that train track around to where it was supposed to be going. We've also got here the Futury Island. The Futury Island I'm actually quite pleased with, the warehouse bit especially, and you'll see why in the next few, after 1 or 2, we've got go on to what's inside there. But I put some orbital cannons around the outside, and you can just see here, if I just move the mouse there, there's a few spaceship engines that are on it, which make it look like it's flying for it. Like it's not just floating randomly. It does have some sort of propulsion to push it up, like a helicarrier. I did also narrow it off on one end and widen it on the other, because otherwise Victorian Maze Britain wouldn't get any sort of sunshine at all, which was not ideal, let's be honest. And here's where I cheated. This was the last thing I did. I used blueprints. All the fuckers were complaining that they're hungry and thirsty, so I was just like, right, hungry, thirsty. There's 2 sci-fi plazas there. There you go, that fits. This is proper full-on lag city. Couldn't do anything, so I was just like, right, blueprints. Put some of those in there, and then I could be at least moderately satisfied with the fact that they're there. And now we're on the inside of the warehouse, and yes, you are seeing correctly, I have put a coaster in the warehouse. Well, I built the coaster first and then built the warehouse around it, which is why it's quite big. Let's be honest here. That's pretty sort of dwarfing everything else that I've made. But yeah, you go in the warehouse on these paths here, and you're greeted with this. There's one path the entrance and one path the exit from the coaster. And you're going around it like that. And frankly, it's the thing I'm most pleased with and simultaneously slightly annoyed with. And I'll just take you through just sort of how it goes around and how it's quite nice. So it goes through this door to the right as we're looking at it. Well, there's a door that works on a trigger that I got timed quite right. Then it goes up there and just twists and goes down through the floor. I've floored off everything in here. I've put a lot of work into this warehouse, probably about 4 hours at least. And it goes down through there like that and back up again. But there's a little, I was so pleased with that idea when I came up with just a little bit showing the floor beneath it, and it's like, exposed, it's so scary. And then it comes back up out of this bit here. This bit here's the end, by the way, and there's a robot dog that you can build, and I put a trigger just back here which activates it and sets off lasers, and then the people here also go through a laser grid, although the laser grid does actually slightly decapitate them, which is fine. It's fine. Through here, just like as you're coming through the ride in chronology, you're just going through there, and then that's the other bit for the exit. Just leads on to that, and the trigger point's about there, and there's some generators there. I just thought that'd be the nicest thing for them. This bit here, I'm actually quite pleased with how it looks. I think I did a good job of that, to be honest. I think it looks quite nice, and there's lights in the tanks. And it's really, really pretty at night, and I did a shot of that, which might be next, it might be the one after, or something like that. It's a couple on. And then this one here is the last room in it, so the room to the right is the initial starting room, and so it just goes, if I remember rightly, so the coaster goes in there, and then goes whoosh up like that, because this is like a sort of powered lift thing. It sort of whooshes it along, although still lowers excitement for whatever reason. Then it goes up there, and then there's a twist loop like at the start, round and down there, and then back through there, and then up to this bit here and back round. And then this bit here, I just thought, what can I put in there? I had the dog in there originally, but I just thought, right, I'll have a combat arena in there. Just, I couldn't, yeah, that's what felt right to have somewhere in there, just like a combat arena. And yes, this is what it looks like. You change it to night, and there's a few lights inside this bit, but otherwise it's basically dark. And that is the room I'm most pleased with at night, because it looks really pretty because of the way I put the lights in the nuclear tanks. It's glowing and it's going to kill me. That's Penzance. Rather barren. I put some more of those the sort of Caribbean shops there just to kind of add to it, but you know, it's not the best. I'm not pleased with Penzance, to be honest. I would have loved to do more with it, but yeah, as I say, the game just, it conspired against me. And then there's the other side of Penzance, where I did add this ship here, and that was a blueprint for a wooden coaster, just to sort of add a bit more. And yeah, I think that's all of it. Yes, because that's the start of my first sort of try at a game. So yeah, that's the end of my park, I'm afraid. So if I go back to the initial photo, that's the end of my park. And you know, I'm kind of sorry you didn't get a proper tour of it. That's just how it's planned out. Again, the game just can't cope with it anymore. If you look at that, there's 3,000 people in there. It's trying to render and characterize 3,000 people and the rides and everything else, and it just can't do it anymore on this computer on any setting. So I don't know what's causing that, whether it's just a limitation in the game itself or whether it's my computer. I'm rambling now. Yeah, end of the series, and let's look forward to Sims 3, which is taking over as the main series because I'm sort of enjoying making that. And Planet Coaster, I'm not going to stop playing it, I don't think, just maybe a bit less and more on my own time with a bit more detail in a smaller area maybe. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed this series, and I will see you on Friday.